Hey everyone, Stephanie here. Coffee drinker, book lover, and reviewer of many things. Oh, I look terrible with no makeup on. I just have a sweet tea today. It is the evening right now, and we've already done a bunch of stuff today. I just wanted to jump on real fast. My kid's over here watching TV. She's watching Pokemon TV from YouTube, and pretending that these plastic flowers are whistles. Anyway, I had to jump on and tell you about this book before I forgot how I felt about it. It's late in the day because I thought that we had, or that the library was having a nutcracker thingy, and it's not until a few days from now. I wrote down the wrong date. But, we went to the store and got some breadsticks and chocolate and pretzels and little eye candy, and to make these little reindeer candy stick things. It was super messy, and you don't need too much coconut oil. Anyway, I read Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. I also listened to it, mostly because I don't think I liked this book. I'm just going to go on and come out and say how I'm feeling. This book, there should be a, what's it called? Warning. Hey, if you're not wanting to read about this, then you should read something else kind of warning. There is a death of a 13-year-old child, and then later you find out that there is a death of an 11-year-old child, and like, okay, so I understand that the detective and the police officers, they have to be like, no emotion, just ask the hard questions and all that stuff. But everyone in this book was very dry and like, oh yeah, well, she was a liar. Well, she was a stupid child. I know that this book was written back then, back in the day. 1969, and that's how people talked back then. But it bothered me that, like, even the child's mom was kind of just like she was crying, but whenever she was talking, it was very like I don't even know how to explain it. It was just like, there was no emotion. And I thought, well, maybe I need to listen to it. And so, I downloaded an app to use my library card, and then I found out my library card expired, so then I had to find out how to fix that, and even listening to it was still like, I'm gonna read the back of it to you. Also, the only part that's Halloween, that really talks about Halloween, is like the first chapter. My library, I don't think that they're ever gonna get this book back because, it was still on hold after months, and, it was past due, so I just gave up on trying to get it from the library, and I was walking around one day at Barnes and Noble, I think, and I found the book, and I was like, yay, I need to read this. So I bought it. Also, apparently there is a movie inspired by this book called A Haunting in Venice, in case you want to watch something similar to this book. Oh, one of my other problems is instead of being like, they say one. So it's like old-fashioned talk. Okay. At a Halloween party, Joyce, a hostile 13-year-old, boasts that she once witnessed a murder. When no one believes her, she storms off home. But within hours, her body is found, still in the house, drowned in an apple bobbing tub. Which isn't true either, because people see her at the party. Like, she didn't storm off. When she said that, it was in the beginning, like before the party when they were setting up. And someone said that they remember her doing one of the activities afterwards, like when the party started. Anyway, that night, Hercule, I can't remember how to pronounce his last name, I don't know. So, I'll put it up here, you can see it. Is called to find later that night. The back of this book is also wrong. Oh my goodness. Because it's the next day when his friend calls him. What? Is called to find the evil presence. But first he must establish whether he is looking for a murderer or a double murderer. Agatha Christie needed to create an exceptional detective to outthink the readers. I've read Agatha Christie in the past, and I have liked her stuff, but this one just fell flat. I was not a fan of this one. And there's parts of this book that I'm like, it doesn't need to be in there. Like, we don't need to know about, I didn't need to know about him and his retired detective friend, or police head, whatever he was, friend, like all their background. I didn't need to know that. Just being like, oh yeah, you helped me out on such and such case. I didn't need to know anymore. But we go down memory lane. I think it's like a whole chapter. It felt like a whole chapter if it wasn't. There's some other stuff that happens in the story that you think is pointless, but then it kind of wraps back around and you're like, oh, I get it now. Some of it I'm like, nah. Did we need to know this? No? There's not much I can say. Like, this book could have been a lot shorter. That's all. And I felt like it dragged on and on and on and on and on. It took me... The book was very dry, and it took me way longer to get through this than it should have. Like, there's 259 pages in this book, and it took me over a week to read it. Normally I really like Agatha Christie. This one just... I like the book, though. I like that it has the pumpkin. There's actually, in the beginning of this book, when you have some pointless talk, Mrs. Oliver is what I called her, but I think they had an accent when they said her name, so, is visiting her friend whom she met on a cruise of some sort, and we find out more about that in the back of the book. Like, I wanted more of that information. And she's supposed to be helping her friend Judith set up this Halloween party that's for ages like 9 to 17 or something like that. 10 to 17, sorry. And she's just kind of leaning on a wall, and she's like, last time I saw one of these, and she's holding a pumpkin, and she was like, in the United States, there was hundreds of them. All over the places, and houses. It didn't, and she's just talking to herself about how vegetation, and somebody falls over her, and she's like, oh, so sorry. Like, first off, she's supposed to be leaning on a wall in, like, the back of the room. How are people falling over her? I just thought it was funny. And somebody wants to call it an 11th party instead, but other people are like, that's not accurate, though, because there are, like, 10-year-olds. And you meet a lady that you really don't care for right off the bat. Everyone's just very old school in these books, or this book, and I just... there are... Because of Joyce's murder, and she told everyone that she saw a murder before, and that leads to her brother's murder after she's murdered. And then you find out it wasn't even her that saw the murder. Someone else. And then and then the person who saw it is almost murdered themselves by a person they think is their friend, because they've been kind of brainwashed to think that it's sacrifice and some Greek mythology stuff. And it gets worse. And if you don't want to know about the spoiler, just skip ahead. I'm assuming that you've clicked ahead. So, it's her own dad. She doesn't know that it's her dad, but you find, like, you as the reader kind of could be her father whenever you first meet them, and they're both very beautiful, fae-like creatures. And he is drawing her, like, in the garden, and whenever he's asked why he's drawing her, he says, because I'm probably going to be leaving this place soon and I don't want to forget her. And later, when he's trying to poison her, after kind of kidnapping her, because like I said, she didn't know that was her dad. After kind of kidnapping her, he tries to poison her, but he stopped before he can give it to her, and so he drinks it himself. And at the very end, the detective, Hercule, goes to her mom and hands her the drawing, and he goes, "Does your daughter know?" And she's like, "No, what?" And he kind of motions for her to open and she sees the picture, and it's like her daughter, or whatever it says. That's just terrible. It's terrible. But because of all of that, they do also uncover a different murder that happened. And one of the main characters in this book is I want to say the B word. to be honest. But she's not a very nice person, and she's kind of stuck up, and it's her way or no way. She's very bossy, and she ends up being one of the murderers, so she gets hers. That's a spoiler too. Sorry. Yeah. Would I read this again? Probably not. It took me reading and listening to it to get through it, and it was very slow going. I don't know. It's okay. I got through it though. I am listening to listening and reading. Oh my gosh, not just listening. I am listening to Redwall on the Preteen Teen Challenge. I am reading Before the Coffee Gets Cold in book form. It's like, I can't reach it. It's underneath a bigger book. I am also reading, oh my gosh, what's it called? The Night of the Living Dummy. That's also on the Preteen Teen Challenge. And I am on the lookout for other books off of the Adult Challenge that I can listen to, because listening to them will be faster than reading them right now, and I'm trying to get through them. I have Legends and Lattes in book form, so that'll be after I read Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I'm about halfway through that. Yeah. Don't forget to check out my other videos. I have the 2025 Reading Challenge video already up for the preteens and the adults, and then one for kids. I don't have that printed yet. I did finally get some ink, so I'll be printing that off soon. Is it gonna rain? Well, it's dark because it's getting late. It's getting late. It's almost dinner time. So yeah, go check out my other videos, and say bye. She's ready. She's ready for me to get off. Like this video if you like this video. Comment below. Did you read this? If you did, what was your opinion on it? If you didn't, I don't know if I can really recommend it unless you're interested in murder mysteries that kind of go like this. To get to the end. I don't know if I could recommend. I normally put on makeup. I look dead. I do. It's been a day. And subscribe. Subscribe if you want to. If you're not sure if you want to, you can click down here and my circle of my face will be somewhere. Click that and go check out my other videos. I do reading challenges, I do book reviews, I do activities, I do places. I do random reviews. I do reviews of stuff that I don't see reviews of, and stuff that I see whenever people are like, oh, this is the best book ever. And then I read it and I'm like, did we read the same thing? I definitely leave my true feelings on those. That's it. I don't really do much else. Alright, share this video if you wanna, and that's it. I'll see you on my next video. Bye!